21. Which of the following is considered a Layer 3 address? A. 192.168.2.200. B. www.glennclark.com. C. COMPUTER1. D. OOAB-OF-2B-3C-4E. Answer: 192.168.2.200. A Layer 3 address is a logical address that is assigned to the system. An example of a logical address is an IP address. 22. What layer of the OSI model is responsible for routing and logical addressing? A. Network. B. Physical. C. Data link. D. Transport. Answer: network. The network layer is responsible for logical addressing and routing. 23. Which of the following are considered Layer 2 devices? Choose 2. A. Bridge. B. Router. C. Repeater. D. Switch. E. Hub. Answer: bridge and switch. Both bridges and switches run at Layer 2 and are devices that filter traffic by the MAC address. 24. Which of the following are considered Layer 1 devices? Choose 2. A. Bridge. B. Router. C. Repeater. D. Switch. E. Hub. Answer: repeater and hub. A hub and a repeater are examples of Layer 1 devices. Remember that a Layer 1 device works with the electrical signal. 25. What is the application layer protocol for delivering email across the Internet? A. FTP. B. SNMP. C. SMTP. D. POP3. Answer: SMTP. SMTP is the Internet Protocol for delivering email, whereas POP3 and IMAP are Internet protocols for receiving email. 26. Which layer of the OSI model works with packets? A. Layer 1. B. Layer 2. C. Layer 3. D. Layer 4. Answer: Layer 3. When the Layer 3 header has been added to the message is known as a packet. Layer 3 devices such as routers process packets. 27. What is the application layer protocol for receiving email over the Internet? A. FTP. B. SMTP. C. SNMP. D. POP3. Answer: POP3. POP3 is the Internet Protocol for receiving email, whereas SMTP is the Internet Protocol for delivering email. 28. Which gigabit Ethernet standard uses UTP cabling to reach 1000 megabits per second? A. 1000 base TX. B. 1000 bases X. C. 1000 base CX. D. 1000 base LX. Answer: 1000 base TX. The gigabit Ethernet standard that uses UTP cabling is 1000 base TX. 29. Which 10 gigabit Ethernet standard uses multimode fiber optic cabling? A. 10G base LR. B. 10G base ER. C. 10G base SR. D. 1000 bases X. Answer: 10G base SR. The 10 gigabits per second standard that uses multimode fiber optic cabling is 10 GBASESR. Remember that the S stands for short range, and multimode fiber optic cabling is used for short distances. 30. Which of the following addresses does a router use to determine where a packet needs to be delivered? Choose 2. A. 24.56.78.10. B. 0003B4C-2B00AF. C. A layer 3 address. D. A layer 2 address. Answer: 24.56.78.10. C. A layer 3 address. Routers use layer 3 addresses to determine where to send a packet. 31. Which layer of the OSI model works with frames? A. Layer 1. B. Layer 2. C. Layer 3. D. Layer 4. Answer: Layer 2. Layer 2 of the OSI model works with frames. This means that devices such as bridges and switches process frames because they are considered Layer 2 devices. Note that at Layer 3 the data being processed is called a packet because it has a Layer 3 header, and at Layer 4 the data is known as a segment. 32. What type of cable would you use if you wanted to connect a system to an RJ45 port on a switch? A. Fiber. B. Crossover. C. Straight through. D. Finet. Answer: straight through. Straight through cables are used to connect dissimilar devices such as a computer to a switch or a router to a switch. 33. You wish to network two systems by connecting a computer directly to another computer. Which type of cable would you use? A. Fiber. B. Crossover. C. Straight through. D. Finet. Answer: crossover. To connect two systems directly together, you use a crossover cable. 34. You need to create a crossover cable. What wires would you cross on one of the ends? A. 1 and 2 with 3 and 4. B. 2 and 4 with 6 and 8. C. 2 and 4 with 5 and 6. D. 1 and 2 with 3 and 6. Answer: 1 and 2 with 3 and 6. In order to create a crossover cable, you would cross wires 1 and 2 with wires 3 and 6 on one of the ends. 36. You are testing communication to a router and have decided to connect your workstation to the fast Ethernet port of the router. What type of cable would you use? A. Fiber. B. Crossover. C. Straight through. D. Finet. Answer: crossover. This is a strange question because you typically would not do this, but it is on the exam. In this example, the router and workstation are both hosts on the network, so you can consider them similar devices. Similar devices are connected with a crossover cable. 37. You have a UTP cable that has been configured at both ends with the 568B standard. What type of cable is it? A. Straight through. B. Crossover. C. Rollover. D. Coax. Answer: straight through. A straight through cable is wired the same at both ends of the cable. 38. You wish to create a crossover cable and have wired one end of the cable with the 568A standard. What standard should you use to wire the opposite end of the cable? A. 568B. B. 568A. C. 569B. D. 569A. Answer: 568B. To create a crossover cable, you wire one end of the cable with 568A and the other end of the cable with 568B. 39. Which of the following are considered Class A addresses? Select all that apply. A. 129.45.10.15. B. 10.35.87.5. C. 131.15.10.12. D. 192.156.8.34. E. 121.59.87.32. F. 210.45.10.112. Answer: 10.35.87.5 and 121.59.87.32. Class A addresses have a value in the first octet that ranges from 1 to 127. Class B addresses have a value in the first octet that ranges from 128 to 191. Class C addresses have a value in the first octet that ranges from 192 to 223. 40. Sue is reviewing IP addressing basics and asks you which of the following is considered a Class A private address. A. 24.56.10.12. B. 192.168.0.5. C. 172.16.45.10. D. 10.55.67.99. Answer: 10.55.67.99. Class A private addresses start with 10.0.0.0. Note that Class B private addresses range from 172.16.0.0 up to 172.31.255.255. Class C private addresses range from 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255.